Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I'm playing X3, the Albion Prelude, and in this Let's Learn video, I'm going to teach you all about the basics of the stock exchange, as well as the corporate and company indexes. I will not be covering any of the commodity trading, but I will create another Let's Learn video about that. So for this video, we're going to go over the basics of stock exchange, how to unlock them, as well as how to use the corporate and company indexes. So to start off, we're going to talk about how to unlock your stock exchanges. When you start the game, this option under your personal listing here and the stock exchange button here is probably going to be grayed out because it requires you to unlock each of the stock exchanges for each of the races as well as different areas. So I'm going to go ahead and put some text on there on the screen here and give you all the different unlocks for each of the races. But basically, if you break it down, the Talati is the easiest stock exchange to unlock. All you require is 10,000 credits. You just pay 10,000 credits to the Talati, and there you go. You got their stock exchange unlocked. The Yaki requires 7 slaves, 14 space fuel, or 4 space weed to unlock theirs. The Split require a minimum flight rank of enlisted. The Boron require a minimum economic rank of trader. The Argons and the Terrans require 1 space station to be built in their territory. And there are a couple bugs with that. I have a space station, or I have a station in Argon space, and it took a long time for it to unlock. So just give it some time. If you throw down a space station, you realize that the stock exchange has not unlocked yet. And then finally we have the Paranid, who require a faction rank of Friend of Priest to unlock their stock exchange. Now the way stock exchanges work is that they're associated with a particular area in their space. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Kingdom's End, and this is the sector that I'm in right now. If you click on this guy right here, it's going to give you all the different areas this stock exchange affects. And this is more for the commodities thing, but I just wanted you to know that each of the stock exchanges only cover a small area of the map. So it looks like about 6 or 7, actually more like 10 areas are influenced by this stock exchange. Now, if you're going to access a stock exchange through this button here, you need to either be in the sector that the stock exchange is, or have an advanced satellite within range of the stock exchange. So in Seaswell, I have an advanced satellite right here, and it can get to the stock exchange from here, which will allow me to, if I go into stock exchanges and I say local stock exchanges, not only will I get the Kingdom Ends local exchange, because I can see I'm right here, right next to it, as well as the Seaswell's exchange. So like I said, this is more important for trading commodities. Here's all the different commodities that are in those sectors, but I will go more into that in another video. But just to give you an idea of how these things work. So let's keep going down the list of options here. So corporate and company indexes, this is the piece of the stock exchange that I'm going to explain to you. But you hit this button and you get that listing of all the companies and then the corporations. So the corporations are your TerraCorps and your OTAS and all those big businesses there. So let's go ahead back to the button and let's see, stock exchange. So then you have a detailed summary of your shares owned. I don't have any shares right now, so it's grayed out. Then you can see your commodities transaction report. So you get a listing of how much money you've made through the stock exchange. And then you have your company transaction report. So here's your report for the commodities, and here's your report from the company transactions that you made. This is how much money I've made with buying stocks within companies and corporations. Not so bad, actually. Pretty good. This one was actually very nice. All right, so let's see what else we got here in the listing. And then you have broker settings. So these allow you to select different options for when you're looking at the stock exchange. Open an expanded view allows you to see that big window that you saw when I opened it up, as well as the local stock exchange as well. And you have different options for the commodities as well as the corporate and company indexes. So I like to keep them default. It's really nice. You'll be able to see everything. If you use the smaller view, then you get a smaller window. Let's see what that looks like real quick. So if I go to the commodities, Let's save and exit. Let's go to the, keep going to the wrong place here. There's the commodities, view local stock exchanges to go to Kingdom's End. And then you get kind of a smaller, it's not expanded at all. So you have to expand each one. If that's the view you want, then you go ahead and pick that in the options here. It's actually nice for when you know exactly what you're working with. All right, so let's go back to the, gosh, I keep going to the wrong area. Stock exchanges, broker settings. So I'm going to go ahead and expand these out. All right, then you have the same for the corporate and company indexes. And the really nice thing about the corporate and company indexes, you have the option of saying if you want a subtitle to let you know that a price has changed. You might have seen it in my other videos where every so often you'll see that the price either goes up or down. All right, so then you have reports, which are really nice to be able to see your progress. So commodities, corporate, and company. And then you can save and exit when you're done. So those are the basics of the stock exchange, how to unlock it, and the different options within this menu. So let's go ahead and talk about the corporate and company indexes now. Now, the reason why I want to go over this first is because this is probably the easier of the two pieces of the stock exchange to work with in the beginning of the game. Now, let's go over slowly. So I'm losing, whoop, there we go. I got some money. Then you can see that there's a subtitle. So the price for that particular stock went up by, it looked like 2 credits. Or 3 credits, so I got myself a nice profit there. So on the very far left, you're going to see the company or corporation name. Now, corporations you really can't affect like you can commodities, so this is really just kind of like a background. Ooh, went up to 43. Yeah, so as you saw, I've just made 900K while talking to you about stock exchanges. So you got the corporation and company name on the left. You have the minimum credits and the maximum credits. This is the range that the stock is going to be going between. Like this is the bottom, this is the top. And you can see there's some companies that have a lot more money involved with their stocks. Like each of their stocks cost a lot more. Like OTAS, you're looking at 1,400 credits worth, but if you go to this other company, it's like 38. So that's the minimum and maximum. The index is kind of a human edible, index for you to be able to take a look at to see kind of the general health of a particular stock. Now, it's kind of strange, but if it's higher, that means that the price is lower on the range that you see on the left. So if I look at this guy here, the securities company here, and it's trading at 41 credits, because it's in the 99 part of the index, it's very close to the bottom, if not the bottom of where it could be potentially for you. So you want to look for green numbers. The higher, the better for when you're about to buy into a company. Man, the stock that I have here is doing really well. 2 million credits just by talking to you guys. No SATA, no nothing. But anyways, so let's go back to this 99 one here. So you have this number here. That index is one. It's between 1 and 100. These little hash marks are how this particular stock is trending. If you see green arrows, it's going further, it's closer and closer to 100. If you see a red arrow, it's going down, obviously. But this gives you a good indication of where it's going to be going. Like I know that this particular stock here is going to keep going down because of the fact that it's been going down the last 2 heartbeats of the stock exchange here. So you might want to just kind of hit the SAT over here real quick and see where this goes. So it's going down, which means the price is going to go up. Oh no, I'm losing money now. Doesn't look like this one's moving at all. There it goes. So it just went up instead of down. So it gives you an idea of the history, the short-term history of that particular stock. And then you have what the stock is trading at currently. So you can easily look at the index and then look at the trading cost of it. So let's say this 97 one right here is trading at 34. Then you can look over to the left and go, oh, look, it's only 2 credits above what the minimum yield will be. So this seems like a really nice company to trade with or to buy stock with. And then once you have purchased a stock, let's see what the so we bought this stock at 35 credits, which is at the very bottom. And this is the number of shares that you can buy. Now, if you buy at the very bottom, that's going to be the most amount of shares that you can potentially buy for this particular company. I bought out all the shares for this company because it was rock bottom when I got it. It's now at 92, which is why you see that I have a nice hefty profit coming from this company. And then this is the number of available shares. And then this is your profits and or malus based off of how that particular company is doing. So the basic strategy is you're going to want to look first at the index, find one that looks pretty good in terms of the index, and then check the trading at price, compare it to the minimum credits. And then what you want to take a look at is just kind of figure out, okay, so if I were to buy at 32, there is a potential for a 300% increase in the amount of money that I have been put into this stock. So it can go from 30 to 90, which is 3 times more. Yeah, 3 times more than what you put in. So this one is not that great. Like, the amount of credits is a little on the low side, as well as the amount of shares for this company. It's a little on the low side. So this one might be a good company to work with if you have less money. So let's see. Let's find another one. So like this one is pretty good. Oh, this one's great. So this one can start at, it starts at 76. It's at 72. While we're not going to be making that much money, we can maybe go like twice as much money. I might get like 100% or 200% increase in your cash potentially. The number of shares is way higher. So every single one that you buy, it's being affected more because of the fact that you have more shares. So if I buy out this one, yeah, every share will make more money for me as it goes up. So let's find one that we can just show and see how it works with it. This one is doing really well. It's kind of fluctuating between, yeah, it's sitting at 88 index right now. So let's find a nice one. Let's see. Like this one is really nice. As you can see, it's 50, and it's like about a 300% increase between the minimum and maximum. There's almost 200,000 shares worth. So I would keep my eye on this particular company and wait for this price to go down a little bit lower. Actually misclicked there. Let's find another one we can just show off and see. Let's just pick this guy here. Not the best. This one we were looking at earlier, but let's go ahead and buy into it. I've got about 15 million on me, so I can buy out all the shares. All right, so I purchased all the shares. I spent about 3.6 million on it, and this is how much it's worth right now. But this doesn't update. I'm going to go back to the table, and already, because I purchased into it, I've just instantly made 667,000 credits because of the amount of money that I put into it. So I'm going to hit SATA for a little bit and see how it does. Doing a little bit worse. Still doing worse. But just know that these stocks here are your long-term investments. Companies and corporations, they take a long time to really give you a good amount of profit. Like if you're patient, you can wait till it gets to the max credits and make as much money as you possibly can from them. Commodities, they tend to fluctuate based off of supply and demand a little too fast, and those are better for if you want to do kind of the day trading-esque stock exchange stuff. But for the long term, the corporations and companies are the way to go, especially because you get a little subtitle on the bottom here that tells you where your prices are at. So you can buy 4 or 5 of these stocks, types of stocks, and then just kind of, think about it and go, well, when they get up to 100, then I know to sell. So you can let these sit for a good amount of time. But as you can see, this particular stock is doing very well. I could pull it out and make $1 million, but it's still at 86 index. There's quite a ways it could go down. So I could just let this sit while I go do missions or, hijack ships and do all the fighter stuff that I like to do. Or I can just let it sit and just wait it out. Like I already have, what, 8.6 million invested. If I pull everything out, I'll make this much. So yeah, this is a great way to make money in the beginning while you're going about doing missions, and you're making millions off of missions too, so you can continuously buy these stocks as you go and eventually fill up most of this. Like this one right here, I'll buy in. So it's at 20%, or it's at 20 credits. The minimum is 19. I'll just kind of wait for the let's see if we can say to the price to change one more time. Let's see if it goes down, because oh, okay. So we failed on that one. I'm gonna have to wait for it. Let's see if we can find another 99. I have enough money to spend right now. Like this one has been rising. The index has been rising here, so that might be a good one to take a look at. Looks like we're losing money on this one right now, but that's not a big deal. But yeah, that's how you use corporation and company indexes. Now, the really great thing about this is if you're a trader, when you do this, you're buffeting the amount of money you're making from your trades. Just because you're spending a lot of time traveling, this is a great way to make some extra money. Not to mention that every time you buy and sell, it's as if you're trading this much money worth. So if I pull this guy out here, let's go ahead and pull this guy. Let's sell all the shares. Boom. So I have now probably increased my rank. I should have checked what my rank was before I did that, but so I'm a financier now at 93%. So it's as if I just traded 1.7 million credits worth of trade goods. So your trade rank is going to go up the more you do this. And it's also really great if you're a pilot like myself that likes to do pirating and likes to do all this other stuff, which is more inclined to combat. This allows you to build up your trade rank without actually having to trade, which will open up some nice trade missions for you if you feel so inclined to do them. All right, so that's the basics for the stock exchange in X3, the Albion Prelude. If you have any questions about the game or about stock exchanges in particular, please go ahead and leave a comment below. All right, folks, so this is Johnnyonoes playing X3, the Albion Prelude. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next episode.